Hello everyone and welcome to our next lecture on illustrative essays. So let's begin. Now first of all, when we talk about illustrative essays, of course we have to understand clearly what actually does illustrate mean. So the verb illustrate actually means to explain or make something clear, or to demonstrate, to clarify, to show, to emphasize, or to display. Okay, and this is usually done by using examples or comparisons, or even by adding details or fleshing out an idea or expanding on an idea. So if that is the meaning of illustrate, what then is an illustrative essay? So an illustrative essay should be an essay where you want to make an idea or a point clear, or explain it, or demonstrate this point or opinion that you have by giving examples, by making comparisons, by adding details to prove your point or an idea. So that is an illustrative essay. Right, so here's just a real quick recap on what we have done so far about the general structure of an essay. So you have the introduction, where it has building sentences and a thesis statement, right? And we have your three mini burgers, your body paragraphs made up of a topic sentence, the supporting details, and a concluding sentence. And finally, you have the conclusion paragraph where you restate the thesis or your opinion. Then you summarize all the points in the body paragraphs, and you end with a final thought. Right? So basically what you're doing is making a mega burger where the top bun, a giant top bun, makes for the introduction and the giant bottom bun for the conclusion, but you have three mini burgers for the three body paragraphs. Right. So before writing an illustrative essay, or any essay for that matter, is you have to write the thesis statement first. And that is the most important part of the essay. So before you can actually write a thesis statement, you first have to form an idea or an opinion. So about a topic, you have to think of what's your idea here? What is your opinion? What are you trying to say? Okay, then think about how you want to support that idea or opinion, which is where you need to come up with the reasons. And all that has to go into the thesis statement. So you make sure that it has first the topic, okay, that you're going to talk about, 2, your opinion on that topic, and 3, your 3 main ideas. So if you look at the examples given here, in this example, okay, about the main character of the cat in the children's story, The Cat in the Hat, is, which is the topic, is that the character is self-centered, and that is your opinion about the character. Okay, so your topic is the main character, the cat, and your opinion is that this cat is really self-centered. And you come up with the 3 reasons why you think so. That is because his only thought is about having fun. Does that show that he's self-centered? Yes, it does. And number 2, he disregards or he doesn't care about the children's concerns. Does that show that he's self-centered? Yes, it does. And the 3rd, he relies on thing 1 and thing 2, these 2 other characters in the story, to clean up his mistakes. Does that show that he's self-centered? Yes, it does. So this is what you need to do before you write your thesis statement. Make sure that your 3 points actually support your opinion very clearly. Right? Okay. So after you've done with the thesis statement, then you can think about the introduction. Alright, so first you think about thesis statement, then you worry about how to introduce that. So the introduction paragraph is where you introduce readers to the topic. You give them general facts or opinions or an overview of what you're going to talk about, maybe even a background to the topic. For example, earlier the children's story, The Cat in the Hat, you want to talk a little bit about the synopsis or what the story is really about. Or you may even want to offer suggestions why others may have a different opinion to yours. Okay, so in 1 or 2 sentences, you may want to talk about maybe a difference in opinion where people may not think that the cat is actually self-centered. However, then you go into your thesis statement. You believe the cat is actually self-centered. All right, so that's the introduction done. Now, what about the body? So the body, I'm sure you're very clear with this. You're experts at this already. So first, of course, you have to start off with the topic sentence. But this part, I want to emphasize, you have to make sure that there are two parts to your topic sentence. The first, you must have the topic. There must be a mention of the main character, the cat, in your topic sentence, that one sentence. And it must also have your controlling idea. What about the cat? Okay, so you say that the cat is self-centered. Why? You give the idea. And this idea comes from the three that you've given already in your thesis statement. Okay, so the topic sentence, one sentence, you must have both the topic and the controlling idea mentioned somewhere in that sentence. And this is followed by three supporting details each for each of your ideas, okay, which you also must follow up with clear examples, more explanations, more elaborations to make a really meaty and chunky burger, right? And then finally, a concluding sentence that repeats or reiterates the controlling idea in the topic sentence. Don't bring in any new ideas, repeat the same idea to make it really solid and focused, right? So here is a little bit of a difference in your illustrative essays, right? Some common phrases that you usually use in illustrative essays. For example, an illustration of this is, for instance, this is illustrated by, to illustrate, this is exemplified or example, okay, by, an example of this is, or this is evidenced or proven by, or as an illustration. Okay, so these are some common phrases that you can use throughout your illustrative essay. Okay, so here's an example of how you can start off a body paragraph. So firstly, so this should be your first point, the cat in The Cat in the Hat, okay, that's your topic, seems focused only on having fun in the moment. So that's your controlling idea. Your topic is the cat in The Cat in the Hat. Your controlling idea is that he's having fun in the moment. And then you give your examples. This is because when he arrives, he immediately begins to devise ways to entertain himself and the children. So this shows that he only wants to have fun in the moment. Okay, and then you give more examples, more supporting details, more elaborations. Right, so that's the body, and finally, and with the conclusion paragraph. There are three parts to your conclusion paragraph that you should have. The first part is to restate the thesis. Okay, restate your opinion. What is your opinion? The cat is self-centered. So you use it in different words. To conclude, these reasons illustrate why the cat in The Cat in the Hat is a self-centered kind of character. You're repeating your opinion. Then you summarize the body paragraphs. Usually we have one sentence for each controlling idea. So here, the first reason is because he only thinks about having fun. That's your first idea. In addition, he doesn't really care about what the children want. Different way of saying point number two. Finally, he uses thing one and thing two to fix his problems. That's point number three, and all three talk about how the cat in the hat is self-centered. And finally, you have your final thought, the last thing that you want to say to your readers before you end your essay. So therefore, you're talking about how the cat is really self-centered. So therefore, even though the cat in the hat is a children's book character, okay, it's for children, I believe he may not actually be a very good role model for children. So you're saying even though he's a children's book character, he's so self-centered. So he's not a very good role model for children. And that's your final thought, your final say that you want to leave your readers with before you end your essay. Okay, so that's about it. I have some questions for you, and you have to think about the answers to this questions. So what you can do is you can play the video again, watch it as many times as you need, and come to class prepared with the answers to these questions. Okay, so what is an illustrative essay and what's different about an illustrative essay? Okay, what is a thesis statement? What are the three parts a good thesis statement should have? You should be able to tell me this just like that. Okay, and what are the two parts a good topic sentence must have? Where do we get the ideas for the topic sentences? Okay, and what are the three parts in a conclusion? Alright, so go back, think about this, and come to class prepared. So that's about it. Thank you, and I'll see you in class. Bye.